Well, this is a great step one, and you can see our guys were excited to play. I was excited to coach. We wanted to see what we can do in a game that mattered, and we got off to a great start. This our defense intensity right away I thought changed the game, and we just kept applying pressure. Really proud of how unselfish we played. Just guys finding the right guy, the right shots, and making the right plays for their teammates. And we showed our depth. I told the guys I thought I didn't know who was going to start, but I said whoever comes in the game off the bench, I was like, well, we're going to turn it up at this point. And I thought we kept applying pressure, and we did that. When Frankie Collins came in, was great. Obviously Tyler Harris was terrific in the first half, and then Jalen Washington gave us good energy, and some other guys too. So great start. Just to start, we got a lot of things to fix. That's as a coach, you're already kind of getting ready for the next practice. But we'll enjoy this tonight, and then we got a road game coming up.
I know the coach's mind never lets you be happy or satisfied, I guess, with exactly what you showed. But through the two scrimmages and this, I'd imagine you're probably happy with what you've seen, right?
Well, I know we have a chance of a good team, and a lot of times when you're a coach, you want hope for the season. You want to have excited and optimism for the season, and some people lie about it, but I can be truthful and say that I'm excited about this group, and we'll get better and better. I think we've even done that so far. You watch our first game against UVA, and then UAB exhibition, and now this one. And so I hope that's a trend for us, that we're constantly improving, and then we'll see how good we get by the time we get to March.
You mentioned not having a set starting five for tonight. What went into choosing this combination, and what did you like from them?
Yeah, there was really not overthinking the combination. Tyler Harris, he's been just dealing with a little nagging injury. We're kind of protecting him, but in my mind, he's a starter. Jalen Washington could start, and I'm fine with that. So I think people make a big deal out of it. I know they get their name called out and get to see their face on the scoreboard. For me, it's when you get in there, be productive, and those guys who came off the bench are productive as well as the starters.
What did you see from Tyler Tanner tonight?
Yeah, I thought his energy was great, and that's his offensive energy, his defensive energy. Whether it was getting steals or applying pressure, we really wanted to go after them. We thought they had one ball handler, and so we thought with the pressure that Tyler Tanner could put on them and Frankie Collins could put on them, that could sway the game in our favor, and those guys did that. So he made shots. He's been playing really good basketball. I just keep saying this. There's going to be a step up from last year. So whatever you saw last year, I think he was great in that role. His role's different this year.
Every year the schedule sets up differently, but ideally, would you like to play local teams each year, at least one game like this?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, like I've been in Lipscomb shoes, and now I'm on the other side of it, but I know how good it is for them to get a game like this and to be able to help out their athletic department and be able to drive home. They'll be home in 10 minutes. There's something about that. I want us to be Nashville's team. I want Vanderbilt to be Nashville's team, but that's not going to be any disrespectful to the other teams, because I want to support them as well, and I want to cheer for them as well. But without having professional basketball here and playing in the SEC conference, and probably it's the second highest level of basketball in the world besides the NBA, I want to be really good. I want this to be a draw. I want this to be Nashville's team and still be able to support the other teams along the way, anything we could do for them.
How good was it to get your younger guys in at the end, and what did you see from them?
Yeah, it's great. It's those jitter moments, and then things in there to be able to get in and make a play, and then Jalen Devine scored, and Chandler Bing is close to being our rotation. I think he's going to get in there. He's a good player, and right now we just got other guys right now, but he's going to help this team this year. And the big fella, it's good to have film of him now and watch Leverett right now, because you're not going to recognize him in 2 or 3 years. Now this will be the moment you're like, all right, that's what he used to look like. He's going to get better and better.
You guys held Lipscomb to 30% from the field. What did you make of your defensive performance tonight?
Yeah, we did a great job of communicating and switching actions to take away plays. And they run really good offense. Kevin's offense is hard to guard, and our scout team did a great job getting us ready for this. But it's backdoor cuts, it's threes, it's multiple movements, cutting and spacing. And, you know, one little slip up is going to be a layup or a three. And I just thought we were really focused and in tune on our defense to be able to cover that stuff up. Only a few times in the game that I thought we had a, you know, lack of whatever skill or fundamentals there to be able to get something. But the fact you can see our team that we can switch a lot of things, you know, I know we're good at it, and I think you saw that against UVA, and you see that tonight that we can take away some teams with our switchability. Is that a word?
Yeah.
In my mind, it's a word.
Playing Harris and Nickel at the same time, they can both really shoot it and they're big. How much do you want to play them both together? How much of a matchup problem is that with them both on the floor together?
Yeah, you'll see a lot of times. You saw it tonight. I don't know for how many minutes, but I wanted to get the look where Tyler Harris was at the two. And so you got a 6'7" two guard out there who can move and guard and obviously shoot. And then Tyler Nickel, you know, last year he was a lot of times at the 4 spot for us, and he's moved down and played majority of the night at the 3. Not to say they won't move up, but we can put a big lineup out there. And we're missing one guy right now who's coming back from an illness and messed up a little bit of our post rotation tonight. But when we get him back, I think we'll definitely be able to have a bigger lineup, especially with those wings.
You mentioned the.
I was gonna, how long do you expect Nicholson to be out?
Yeah, it's let's see, it won't be this week, but it won't be far after that.
You mentioned the switchability. Like, I think of an old like Leonard Hamilton Florida State team where they've got 2 guards pressuring the ball and then the switchable wings and the shot blocker in the back. How close schematically, or I guess just of a look, do you want that to be to those teams?
Yeah, I mean, we also don't want to be, you know, taking ourselves out of position. You know, those guys were really high in deny and really spread out. And we don't want to do that. But at the same time, you know, we're going to be a better defensive team we were last year because of guys like that. The guy really triggers everything. You might not notice unless you'll notice as you keep watching. We've already noticed is A.K. Okereke. What he does on defense is phenomenal. Guards everybody, different spots, communicates well, sees actions coming, and having him on the court, I think, comforts the other guys. And then a guy like Frankie Collins is tremendous on defense. I mean, he can really disrupt the other team.
You mentioned, you know, playing Nickel and Harris together. Were there any other lineup combinations that stood out to you tonight?
You know, I wanted to play Devin McLaughlin a little more at the 4 spot, and just because I only had 2 of them tonight, I think they kind of wore each other out. They played so hard. You know, Devin's energy was tremendous, like always. You know, I told him that what we're going to do when we have practice in 2 days from now, he's going to teach the other guys rebounding. And he's going to be rebounding station, and then the coach is going to back away, and then Coach McLaughlin's going to teach.
How much of a weapon is Tyler Harris, a guy who can shoot it like that? And obviously you mentioned the size.
Yeah, he can really score. And, you know, I think you'll see him. I think UVA, you saw how good he was that way. That way he had his burst. He's getting his burst back. I thought UVA, he was terrific. And just his speed and his agility and the shot making, everything else. So he's a big weapon for us. And we'll start using him more. It's just one thing as a coach, you got to realize where we're going, how long this race is, and so I would like to play him 6 or 8 more minutes tonight, but I got to be smart and be smart for him, protect him too.
Anything else?